What is going on, everybody? Welcome to some more Division 2 content and a build video on the JOAT of all trades channel. We are doing the full build explanation for the gameplay I just dropped with the Aggressor V2. So it's not going to be a completely fresh build, but we're actually taking another crack at that Aggressor build because the Scorpio got nerfed and we're going to try to fix that. Let's take a quick look at the build classification I always give you in my build videos, and you'll get an idea of what we're working with here, and then we'll jump right into the individual pieces. Alright, so this is the Aggressor V2, and you'll notice right away that most of the pieces are the same. That's kind of what we were going for here. Main weapon is the Scorpio, and the purpose of this build was to fix the nerfs that were done to it and make it shred again. It got changed during Project Resolve, affecting a lot of the base stats of the weapon, mostly being that handling and the reload now feel much slower, and it kind of sucks. It really does feel clunky in the hand compared to the old build before. That and the requisite number of shots to proc the talent on the Scorpio also got changed, and it was in a nerf fashion. So it's still really strong, but it just doesn't feel the same, and the goal of this build is to fix that. It's the same tank DPS hybrid. This is, again, another legendary master anything level build. It's not legendary specific, I will say. It's definitely cut out for legendary, because that's what I use it for, but it's not one of those builds where it's super hyper-tuned for legendary. You can use this in heroic for sure, and it'll be a great time. It's not like overkill for that. The playstyle is run and gun. We're close quarters. We're using our shotgun and shotgun range. And you'll notice that it's a little more on the damage side. We're not running that Artificer combo. We got the Revive Hive. We're relying on those kills and the bonus armor to keep us going. Farmability is pretty easy. It's blue strikers everywhere though, so you will need to roll it off its core. But you should have blue strikers by now, and if you don't, get farming. Alright, we're in game now. I'm actually going to show you the original version first so that you can get an idea of what we're switching around. So, this is what it used to look like, pretty much. I might have had one of the cores also red, I'm pretty sure I did. I don't think it was all blue, but it was something like this. In that video we talked about variations of blues versus red cores, tune it to your liking. But it essentially looked like this, and the core pieces are staying the same. We're leveraging strikers for that crazy amount of damage. The shotgun combined with the chest is actually working because we're able to get those pellets count for stacks, and we're able to get our stacks up all the way to, And we're able to get our stacks up all the way to 200, which is what happens with the chest. So that's all right. We're not losing out damage by running the chest. We get pretty good uptime on it. Memento is a core of the build. The variety of bonuses that it gives us, and especially that bonus armor, is what's keeping us in action and giving us that play style. And then we get one choice for a named piece. And for me, it was a very low-key piece that I don't think I've ever seen someone else use, but it's amazing because the ammo dump is a blueprint that comes with the gunner specialization, I believe. So you can craft it. You get shotgun damage. It comes with the blue. And if you look at that, it looks a little weird because, like the claws out, it has an extra attribute. So the named part of it that's giving us ammo capacity isn't replacing one of our potential crit rolls. We're actually getting both, plus we're getting extra ammo. So that was just really fun and it fit great on the build. Now let's switch over to the other one, and you'll see what's changed. Boom, okay. You'll notice that a lot similar, but we have another named piece here, and this is what's doing those benefits that we want. The Eagle's Grasp is giving us weapon handling. That's going to tighten up our reload speed, so we're tackling that. And the mag size is giving us an extra bullet, which is directly compensating for the extra bullet it requires to proc the talent. So you'll see here 2, 4, 6, 9. It didn't used to be like that. It was around one shot less on average for all of them. I think the Disorient might have be the same at 4, but overall they basically added an extra shot to proc the talent. Now, you don't really feel that in gameplay, but especially now that we have the extra mag size from here. So you'll see our mag is now 8, and then if you put one in the chamber, you'll be at 9. So that is what's making the difference. Even though it's just one bullet, it's just that 15% mag size. Now we can one mag a target and get all of our buffs all the way up to the target takes additional 20%. That is really key. It's one bullet, or shell, but it makes the difference. So that's synergizing beautifully with our choice of our one high-end named piece that we get to run on the build. And you'll see our reload time there, because Striker also comes with weapon handling. Our reload time with the extra 15% here, on top of the 15 that we get from Strikers, is bringing it down to 1.88. And it's quite a bit slower without it. It still isn't the fastest. I still don't think it's as quick as it was before, if I'm being honest. But it tightens it up a lot, and it does make a difference, especially if you try it out without running any handling on it at all. It feels slow, and given that it's our main weapon, we want to be able to get shots out and not be caught in this long reload when we're surrounded by enemies. So that's the big reveal here, and a few of you had the very keen eye and saw that that was the piece that I was running in my gameplay, so shout out to y'all. That is indeed what we're choosing. It's a very simple change, but it makes quite a big difference. It's a small tweak that makes a big difference, and I felt it in the gameplay. I tried my original build, and it didn't feel right. This one made it feel like it used to pre-nerf, and it's still really, really strong. They didn't nerf the DPS like crazy, but those quality of life factors with the Scorpio, being able to now one mag to get all of the talent buffs, as well as a tighter reload, is keeping us in action a lot better. All right, let's talk about the other change that I did. And if you'll notice, our mods are actually different. Now, this one is optional, I will say. You could run crits, and I did run crits in the gameplay. I had all reds here, but the more I was playing around with it and thinking about it, Protection from Elites actually makes sense with this setup, even though I don't normally run Protection from Elites outside of content that is full of elites like the Countdown. It works out because the types of targets that will survive our onslaught of one mag are typically going to be elites. So most other things with our 8+1 shots that we're going to be getting from our Scorpio, it synergizes really nicely because normally they'll be dead. If it's like a red or purple, they'll just be dead. You pick up the memento trophy, you keep going. But the things that will survive are usually going to be like junkies, which are elites, or other elites have more armor, they're healthier, and then we'll be taking less damage from them as they're shooting back at us as we go through our faster reload, but then they're also going to be taking that 20% extra damage from all sources because we were able to use that extra bullet to get 9 shots out, and even if we miss it, we'll be able to survive because of our protection from elites and then get the other shots out, and then they'll be either weaker to our damage from the whole team, or we'll be able to finish them off ourselves. And so the protection from elites, just swapping your 3 mods for it without going too crazy is able to give us that little extra survivability and tank things just a little bit longer to then finish off the targets that will survive, which are usually elites. All right, that's pretty much the core of the build here. Let's talk about some of the other pieces that you'll see me running. Now, the star of the show, of course, is the Scorpio, and I mentioned that we're taking a more aggressive version of a tank DPS build, so we're running Gunner, we're not running the Artificer. Our shield is still tanky at tier 6, of course, but it's more of a one-time use shield. We don't have the Artificer constantly refreshing it. We're relying on the Memento for our survivability. And I'm choosing to use the Revive Hive as well because we're going to be really deep. We're playing very aggressive. So if we do down and we mess up or something happens, we don't want to be caught out that far without our Revive Hive. Our other weapons here, I got a Lexington, and I got a Harvest with Finisher. These ones are pretty optional. I would just recommend running an AR because we are using our priming weapon as a shotgun. Having an AR is going to allow us to reach out a lot further. You can run a rifle too if you want. It's up to you. You just want something that's a little more ranged. And if you swap it around here, like if I showed you the build like this, you would say that makes a lot of sense, actually. So it's not like tuned exclusively to the Scorpio, but you could use both. This as an AR setup would totally work, and so we're able to reach out and hit targets and keep up consistent damage far out with an AR. Because of the chest, I would choose an AR that shoots fast. Maybe a FAMAS would make more sense. That's up to you. The Lexington is pretty dang fast already. Do I have a FAMAS? What would that look like? Yeah, 1035. It's a little bit faster. That's your choice, but I would run an AR to be able to engage from distance. And then I have a Harvest here that I just put some expertise on. I farmed the heck out of this during the season to try to get some more to drop. And running it with Finisher, if you have the opportunity to pull it out, you'll get some extra crit chance and some extra crit damage. Why not? And you're able to with this setup because swapping away from the Scorpio, like it doesn't matter with your stacks. It's all good. It's not like you're running the Backfire or the Chameleon where you really never want to swap off the weapon. This one, you have the versatility, and that's one of the reasons why I like using it so much. And then, of course, we're running Gunner is going to give us that extra 10% armor on kill, which combined with the survivability we have from Memento makes it a really, really nice package. All right, let's talk about variations real quick. So, of course, this is kind of a variation of the Aggressor V1. We talked about running different mods. You could run crits for your mods instead. You could try running more reds. You see I left this one as a red core. I think I do have another one that was blue that I was testing around with. So depending on what you farm, you could play around with that if you want to go all blues or go more red. I would recommend keeping enough blues so that you stay at tier 6 with your shield. And then you can't really swap out the Scorpio. That's the whole point of the build. If you were running a different shotgun, I think I would do a different setup for that. The Scorpio is really, really strong, and it works in Legendary because of that CC effect. And then, like I mentioned, just getting that extra bullet. This kind of the core anchor part of what makes this build. There's not a lot of other changes I would make, to be honest. I think it's pretty solid. Maybe another thing to think about if you want that mag size, you could consider running a chest of Zwei with a different chest talent, and then maybe you're just compensating for losing the named weapon handling attribute and running more handling elsewhere. You could do that, but I think you'd overall be doing a lot less damage, and like I mentioned, you can keep up the stacks of the chest. Even though they're 200, the amount of shots we're getting out, especially because it counts per pellet with the shotgun, shotguns are really good at keeping up stacks with the chest, and we're getting a lot of shots on target because we're basically barrel stuffing them all the time. So it works out. Alright, y'all, that's everything I wanted to show you with this setup, and it's been really fun, and it's sticking in my loadout just like this. I do swap the mods back and forth between crits and protection from elites, but give it a go for yourself, and that's the build. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to be getting some more builds out, and I'm getting really excited for the new content that's coming to the game. You'll be seeing a lot more on the channel, so stick around if you want some more creative builds. Until the next one, I'll see you. Enjoy.